In this class, we're going to ignite our core, build physical stamina and mental resilience. In yoga and in life, what we focus on becomes amplified. Core work stimulates a lot of heat, activations and intensity, sensations that can sometimes make us feel uncomfortable. In response to these uncomfortable experiences, the mind has 5 known avoidant strategies to distract us from our current experience. So the first is aversion or rejection. So those familiar phrases of, oh, this class isn't for me, or oh, these sensations, I wish I was running from them and not running towards them or fully experiencing them. The second is tiredness or fatigue. So those feelings of, oh, I didn't sleep well, I'm tired, I've no energy, I think I'll stop now. The third is sensory desire. So those feelings of, oh, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm too hot, or those scented flowers are way too close for me, I think I'll leave my mat and go and move them. And then there's doubt. So the dialogue of, I'm not good enough for this. I don't know if this is for me. Should I even be doing this? And then the last is restlessness. So the dialogue of, oh, let's hurry, let's go. I hope she would just stop talking and let's start moving. So if any of these resonate with you, know that you're not alone. We all have these experiences while on our yoga mats. I've certainly used some avoidance strategies, especially when the practice intensifies, like, for example, in core classes. But this is why I love yoga. It's the practice of bringing our awareness to how we respond to experiences that often make us feel uncomfortable. And that can sometimes be reflective of how we respond off the mat. So today, let's start the process of observing where our mind goes, allowing ourselves to feel sensation, and responding by leaning a little deeper into what we feel and infusing those sensations with breath. So grab yourself 2 blocks and let's start in standing. So let's start by taking our hands to our side ribs, closing our eyes, and taking a deep, nourishing 360-degree breath. Taking a slow enough, long enough, deep enough breath to expand the back, the sides, and the front of your thorax. As we exhale, we're going to breathe out and clear out anything we'd like to let go of in this moment. Take your hands to rest by your sides. Now take a scan of your body, scanning through the muscles and the joints, looking for any areas of tension, tightness, gripping or holding. I'd like you to lean a little deeper into what you feel, into the sensations that sometimes we might run away from. And start to infuse what you feel with breath. Exhale, open your mouth and sigh it out. Okay, so let's take a moment to connect with the core. And I'd like to bring your awareness to some alignment cues. I'm going to refer to knit the ribs quite a lot in this class. And the reason why that is, if you are a rib flarer, it's likely that you're stretching and expanding the front wall of your abs and you're compacting in the lumbar spine. So in today's class, let's create a rib-pelvic connection. Draw the ribs towards the front of the pelvis. Feel your lumbar spine neutralize And can we maintain that alignment? As you inhale, sweep the hands up. Imagine there's a heavy bar in the air, and as you exhale, cactus your arms. So you drag that heavy bar down under tension. And while we're doing this, as you inhale, sweep your hands up. I'd like you to assess, do your ribs default back into a flared position, or can you keep them connected, knitting down? Let's try it one more time. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Assess the rib alignment. Can you keep the ribs knitting in? Squeeze your glutes. And exhale, draw it down. Super. From here, let's find the deep inner core muscles. So if you come to the bony parts of the pelvis, come in about 1.5 inches and down 1 inch and poke in there. Now, when the deep inner core muscles are not engaged, it should feel kind of squishy, relaxed. These deep inner core muscles, primarily the transverse abdominis, contracts like this, works in sync with your pelvic floor. So it might sound a bit funny, but when you imagine you're stopping yourself peeing, you should feel these engage and firm under your fingers. So let's give it a go. Inhale, let it go, let it feel squishy. As you exhale, draw up through the front passage of the pelvic floor and feel under the fingers firm. What I feel like is that there's 2 magnets on my pelvic bones drawing in like a corset. Okay? So we're going to use this contraction throughout the class to really energize our cores. So let's make our way to the top of the mat. Take a deep, nourishing inhale. Assess the rib alignment. Can you keep them knitting? Exhale, activate the core. Draw up through the pelvic floor. Feel the inner core engage as you forward fold. Hands to the floor, to the shins or to your blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Create length and space through the back line of the body. And again, can you activate your core? Draw up through the pelvic floor. Feel the difference in compression in the front body when you use your core to generate that power to fold deeper in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time bend the knees, so much so you can get the hands to the floor and step the feet back into a plank position. Let's slow motion lower to the knees for 5. Keep the ribs knitting in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, let the belly drop. Melt through the back of the heart. As you exhale, swallow up through the pelvic floor. If your fingers were here, would it be squishy or firm? Activate the core and feel the difference when you round in. Inhale, belly drops, bum widens. Exhale, up through the pelvic floor and round. This time, come back to a neutral position. Knit the front ribs, feel length through the back body, and tuck the toes. Root into the 4 edges of the hands, hug the palms together. And as we exhale, we're going to hover the knees just about 1 inch off the floor. Take a deep, nourishing inhale and embrace the quivers that might be starting to happen. The heat that's rising. Feel the tiny little flickers of activations. And breathe into the sensations. Infuse them with breath. Create spaciousness as you breathe in. We're going to hold for a final 5. 4, lean a little deeper in. 3, infuse it with breath. 2, and 1. Let's drop to the knees, widen the legs, and sink down into a child's pose. And I'd like you to bring your awareness after the cusp of intensity. When the body activates and the heat rises, where does the mind travel to? And instead of letting it drift, can you bring it back to the present moment? Back inside your body.
Allow your breath be your guide. Take a deep, nourishing inhale to infuse what you feel with breath. And exhale, open your mouth to clear. And from here, gaze forward. Let's re-anchor the hands to the floor. Root into the four edges and squeeze the finger pads. Tuck the toes. Push the hands forward and down and take your first downward facing dog. Maybe take a pedal, stretching out and ironing out any tension of the day. Listening and watching the rhythm of your breath here. And when you feel you're a little more limber, allow yourself to settle into the pose. Feeling any sensations might start speaking to you. Can you speak back to them with your breath? And then from here, lift high onto the toes. Press into the right foot, lift the left leg forward. Press into the left, lift the right forward. And slowly make your way step by step to the top of the mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, we're going to bend the knees, sitting down into a chair pose, reaching the fingers forward. Take an inhale, reach the fingers up. Exhale, take a little bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink a little deeper. And slowly, maybe reach the hands back and make your way all the way to your seat bones. From here, I would like you to stretch your legs wide. Flexing the feet up. So this is pointing, this is flexing. And you can walk your feet just a touch wider than your hips. We are going to take a more Pilates approach in accessing the core here. We're going to take the spinal stretch forward. So if you're having a really hard time of sitting in this position, if you feel your spine really wants to round back, I'd like you to go and grab a little cushion or a pillow and pop it under your seat bones. Imagine there's a big beach ball resting on your thighs, and I'd like you to take your hands over the beach ball. On the next inhale, I would like you to try and nudge the base of your back forward, tilting the pelvis forward, feeling that stretching and lengthening through the back line of your body. As you exhale, we're going to connect with the pelvic floor, the front passage. Feel the inner core engage as you scoop and tuck the pelvis. So really access the core even more than you think. Inhale, grow tall. Nudge the base of your spine forward. Soften the shoulders. Exhale, up through the pelvic floor, scooping and tucking the pelvis. One more. Inhaling. Nudge the lower back forward, really mobilizing and gliding the nerve tissue here. Exhale, scoop and tuck the pelvis and round over that beach ball. This time, inhale back to neutral. As you exhale, imagine your calves are Velcroed to the mat. Keep them nice and steady. Activate the thigh muscles. And as you exhale, engage through the pelvic floor. Feel the inner core fire as you slow motion start to roll it back. So trust yourself. Trust your core. Slowly keep the core engaging as you slow motion make your way to the mat. From here, let's bend the knees. Take your hands behind your head. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift the head, neck, shoulders, shoulder blades up, and I'd like you to look down at your abdominal region. Notice, are the abs doming or bulging or kind of pooching up? Okay? And if so, that's a sign to me that we're not exhaling sufficiently or we're not actually recruiting those deep inner core muscles. So what I'd like you to do is take your fingers back to that in an inch, down an inch, the transverse abdominis. Take an inhale, feel it squishy. Exhale, feel it firm. We're going to bring this into that ab prep position. Take an inhale. Exhale, pelvic floor fires first. Feel the inner core fire. Lift the head up and look at the difference in the appearance on the abs. Now you have the option to keep the hands here, especially to support the neck, or take it to the side. Inhale, lower just a touch. Exhale, draw up through the pelvic floor, lift the shoulder blades up as we take a breath. Inhale back, exhale. Keep drawing the inner core in as we lift. For a final 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, 1, and relax. Whew. Take your hands to your tummy and straight away drop your awareness into where your mind travels. Where does it go after a period of intensity? Do we respond in a familiar, preconditioned pattern? Lean a little deeper into what you feel. Take an inhale, infuse it with breath. And exhale, open your mouth to clear. From here, take your hands to your front ribs. I'd like you to knit the front ribs towards the front of the pelvis, creating a deeper rib-pelvic connection. This will stop your back lifting and the back muscles stabilizing the center too much. So draw the ribs down, keep them knitting, and try to avoid flaring of the ribs throughout the next couple of exercises. So take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, feel the inner core fire. As you take the right and the left leg up to a table position. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, can you keep your ribs set as you stretch and point the right leg to the ceiling? Inhale, rebend. Keep the right leg steady, keep the ribs down. As you exhale, stretch the left leg, squeeze the left thigh. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, right leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, left leg. Inhale, bend. Then we're going to bring the feet and the knees together. Keep the ribs set. Take an inhale. Exhale, stretch both feet to the ceiling. Inhale, rebend. Keep those ribs down. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend. Last time. Exhale, stretch. This time we're going to keep it here. This time we're going to lift the head, neck, shoulders, shoulder blades up and stretch the hands forward. If you need to take the hands behind the head for support. Take an inhale, stretch and lengthen the left toes towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower the right leg just halfway. Inhale, bring the right leg back up. Exhale, lower the left. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, lower right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower left. Inhale, lift. Lower right. This time we're going to hold. Feel the heat, feel the intensity. Stretch and lift the left leg up and reach the fingers forward for 5. Breathe into it. 4, 3, infuse it with breath. 2, 1, and lift the right leg back up. Maybe lower the head. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift the head, neck, shoulder blades, and stretch the hands forward. Take an inhale, point the right toes towards the ceiling, and exhale, lower the left. Feel the quivers. Feel the heat. Breathe into those sensations for 5, 4, say yes in your head, 3, 2, 1, lift the left leg and bend those knees in. Whew. Straight away, take a moment, drop your awareness in to where your mind travels. Flex the feet, take your hands to the outer edges of your feet and turn your feet towards the ceiling. If our hands don't reach the edges of the feet, take them to the lower shin. Bend the knees, and I would like you to crawl your elbows to the inside of your knees. Bend your knees towards your armpits so we can take the legs out to the side and flex the feet towards the ceiling. So this is called the happy baby pose. It is definitely the most popular pose in my postnatal mummy fit classes. I think we all love being a happy baby. So embracing your happy baby, let's start to create counter pressure, pushing our hands into the soles of the feet into the hands. So maintaining this counter pressure as you slowly glide the tip of your tailbone towards the floor. Feeling the sensations, infusing them with breath. Exhaling, letting something go. From here, bring the feet and the knees back together. Reach the feet towards the ceiling, knit the ribs. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the legs about halfway. This time, lift the head, neck, shoulder blades up. Option to stay here, support your head, or reach the hands back for hollow body position. Knit the ribs, feel the core ignite. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little transition from here. We're going to roll onto the left side and come gently to the tummy. Option to use your hands if that just feels a little tricky. Lift the hands, lift the feet for Shalavasana or locust pose for 5. Deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax the legs, relax the hands. Take your cheek to your knuckles. Imagine you're resting on a pillow, a really plush, comfy pillow. Embracing and embodying that feeling of coziness. From here, taking your gaze forward, take your hands by your rib cage. It's okay if you're off the mat. We will make our way back there in a minute. Press strongly into your arms and pick yourself up. Lift your knees into plank position. Now in plank, we want to tuck our bums, knit the ribs, and squeeze the inner groins towards each other. From here, let's walk hand and feet back onto our mats. Keep the bum tucking, knitting the ribs, and pushing down into the floor for shoulder protraction. From here, slowly make your way onto your left forearm, right forearm. Push into your left hand, push into your right hand. Make your way onto your right forearm, left forearm, push into your right hand and your left. One more round. Lower the left, lower the right, push into the left, push into the right, lower the right, lower the left, push into the right, push into the left. Good work. From here, going to lower one more time. Option to stay here, or we're going to start to walk our feet in towards our hands. This is called the dolphin position. Can be a little bit harder on our upper bodies, but it's a great exercise to build stamina and resilience. Option to stay here, especially if you're new, or press into the left foot and pick and stretch the right leg up. Breathing length into all limbs for 3, 2, 1. Lower the right leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift the left leg up. Breathing length into the limbs for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower it down. Take a deep, nourishing inhale. And as you exhale, let's lower to the knees, dropping into child's pose. And notice, where does the mind travel? Challenge yourself to lean into what you feel. Those sensations, those feelings that make us want to run away. Can you start to run or even step in their direction? The deeper we lean, the more we feel, the more we neutralize these sensations, and the more we grow. Take a deep, nourishing inhale. Infuse what you feel with breath. And exhale, sigh it out. Gazing forward. Let's slowly walk our hands back towards our knees. We're going to make our way onto our seat bones. Anchoring our feet into the floor this time, sweep our hands forward, take an inhale. And as you exhale, scoop up through the pelvic floor. Scoop and tuck the pelvis and slowly, slowly roll it back. But our mindset is more on reach those fingers forward. We're going to roll it back for a count of 5. Keep reaching the fingers forward. 4, use the core. 3, 2, 1. Relax it back. Stretch those feet wide. Let the hands fall. And prepare for a well-earned and deserved Savasana. And slowly, slowly beginning to bring your awareness back. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Circle the hands and the feet. Let's bend the knees and roll gently onto one side. If you need a little more time here, please do take it. When you feel ready to transition, help yourself up into a cross-legged sitting position. From here, take your hands to the heart center. Take a deep, nourishing inhale from the root up through the body. And at the end of the inhale, hold your breath. And again, take another little sip of air in and hold. Kumbhaka, breath retention. Can you soften into the retention? One final time, inhale and hold. Fully inflating the lungs. And as you exhale, open the mouth and take a clearing sigh to clear. Lift your heart a little towards your brain. Humble your brain a little towards your heart. And namaste. So I hope you feel energized, connected to your core, and the empowerment that comes from that. Well done, and I will see you on the mat again soon. Bye.